Creating effective presentations. There are several things you need to consider before you start to work on a presentation for an instructor. The audience, the presentation tools that will be available, and the environment in terms of size and lighting controls. These things will all impact design choices that you will make. There are several types of presentation tools in use at the University of Maryland. An oldie but goodie is the portable overhead projector and transparencies. This is still in use in some rooms that have yet to be outfitted with more permanent kinds of technology. Slide projectors with their carousels of slides are still in use by some departments at the College of Arts and Humanities and the School of Architecture. A single-gun computer portable projector usually sits on a table and is often used in meeting rooms or other places where permanent installation is not possible. These usually plug into an equally mobile laptop. Computer projection systems, usually ceiling-mounted, can be found in the 231 technology-enriched classrooms and the 4 teaching theaters found on campus. Different environments require different presentation technologies. 2 essential environmental elements will impact your design considerations: size of facility and sources and controls over lighting. In an intimate classroom setting, say seating for 35 or under, the instructor can make use of a tabletop projector and laptop, old-fashioned transparencies, or a technology cart. In a larger lecture hall, such as our biopsych lecture hall that seats hundreds, ceiling-mounted projector and computer work well. In our university's technology classrooms, we have this setup, controlled by a Crestron control panel. Many rooms have presenter computers secured in them, but the setup also allows for an instructor to bring his or her own laptop for presentation purposes. A good old-fashioned slide projector will also work in this size environment, but forget about trying to use an overhead projector with transparencies. The image won't project over a long distance. Conference rooms are intimate by their very nature, in terms of room dimension, and often acoustics. Effective technology for giving presentations in such locations is a tabletop projector and laptop. Slides in such an environment should only be considered if the distance between the projector and the screen is at least 12 feet. There's a lot of room for creativity in a large auditorium or convention center. Use of multiple projection devices and screens, computer projection, slide projection, multimedia integration are all useful ways of keeping a really large audience engaged. Whatever the environment, it will be important for you to know about it before you get too far into the development cycle. Lighting of an environment and the presenter's ability to control it also affects design considerations, particularly choices of colors. When we talk about lighting in the room, ambient light, that which comes from fluorescent lights or windows, can have an overall impact on the room. Even more critical is lighting resources that might bleed out the color projected on the screen if the lights are focused on or over the screen itself. For a room with a lot of light and no way to control its impact on the projection, then a color scheme that features light or white background and dark text and richly colored images and accents works best. In a room where you can control the lighting through dimmers, a dark background and light lettering works, as does the scheme recommended for an overly lit room. This slide shows the effect of a dark background color scheme. Darker tones seem to register as more soothing with viewers, but will lose their impact if the lighting situation bleeds the color from the slide background, images, and accents. If a dark background bleeds to a very light color and the light or white lettering sits in the foreground, there will be little contrast in the projection, and the audience simply won't be able to see the content. What environmental concerns do you notice about the teaching space above? What presentation tools and color choices would you consider using? What's your initial reaction to the slide below? For extra points, can you name that presenter? One of the biggest detriments to PowerPoint is the tendency to create all bulleted slides. It's easy to turn lecture content into a series of bulleted topic sentences, but an entire lecture of text is boring, to say the least. Effective images add meaningful content, clarity, and variety to a presentation. They can contribute to the objectives of your message. Effective images might include charts, clip art, symbols, pictures, illustrations, or video clips that all communicate the highlights of your message. When we get down to brass tacks, designers want guidelines for effective presentation of text. If you are developing a presentation that will be delivered online or in a kiosk-like environment, not projected, then smaller type sizes are acceptable. 28 points or larger for headings, 21 points or larger for text. If you're developing a presentation for a typical classroom that will be projected on a screen, larger fonts are better. 32 points or larger for headings, 24 points or larger for text. But when in doubt, go bigger, and always test small fonts from the back of the room. Make it your responsibility to check out the environment in which your faculty member will be presenting, if at all possible. How big is it? What technology is there? And what controls will she or he have over the lighting? PowerPoint has built-in mechanisms that usually force consistency in your capitalization scheme, and there's good reason for that. Inconsistencies from slide to slide can be detractors from the content of the slide. Get into a rhythm in terms of capitalization in your titles and in the bulleted text, and stick with it on every slide. The same goes for your color scheme and font choices. A change in consistency should be purposeful, or it shouldn't happen at all. For readability's sake, use mixed case when capitalizing titles. All caps are difficult to read, particularly in large font sizes. Rather than text, the words look like blocks, and viewers have to struggle to read them. Italics, and in some cases boldface, can be troublesome as well in small font sizes. Try to avoid either in font sizes smaller than 14 points. Communication theory tells us that 24 hours after we hear something, we'll remember about 10% of what we heard. A number of techniques made possible in PowerPoint can increase retention, partially because the content is presented in short phrases, e.g. bullets, which makes note-taking easier, and partially because some content is presented graphically, which makes a longer-lasting impact on our memory. With the aid of PowerPoint and the note-taking memory prompting techniques it affords, we can increase that 24-hour retention to 50% or more, and that's without even reviewing the notes taken. So effective text organization would include such things as using a maximum of 8 lines or 5 bullets or objects per slide, and the use of custom animation to introduce a bullet or object at a time, and the use of one slide of each 3 to 5 minutes of presentation. Now these are guidelines, and there may be times when more or fewer slides are required. So why use PowerPoint for presenting? Well, to recap, PowerPoint helps us focus attention on the content being presented. It helps the instructor present learning objectives. It helps to stimulate retention and recall. It enables students and instructors to provide feedback during the presentation. It enables prompts for the assessment of performance. And it promotes and enhances the transfer of knowledge. So I want you to think about any pet peeves you might have when you view particularly an ineffective PowerPoint. And then I'd like you to go and take a look at how not to do it. You can either follow this URL on the screen in front of you, or this video is also embedded in the lecture content folder within the Unit 1 Creating Effective Presentations content area.